want to take you back and show you the replay of Ryan Briscoe exiting pit road. It's tough to watch. It's tough to see. Our production team is telling us the red light, that is. But watch here. See if you can spot it. Left-hand side, left-hand side. Whoa. That was close. What did you make of it?
Well, it was tough for me to see it, but, you know, Ryan's got a better shot at it there. You know, you could see the tail end of the field, so they have to clear that pit exit before you're allowed to be released.
Watch it slow here, Cal. I think it changes right when he gets there. And it's red there. Is that enough time for him to stop?
It is, and he should be on top of that. You know, it would have been red going down there. It's up to the team also to remind Ryan, watch for that pack. Essentially, once the safety car comes on this front straightaway, pit lane, that red light will be on, and it will not go out until the tail end of the field gets by the end of pit lane. And Wayne Taylor realizes it's a totally different ball game right now.
He won't go down a lap, but it's going to hurt a lot. He's going to be flirting with that lead lap. So it's a stop and hold for 1 full minute, which is agonizing.
Well, with the pit lane delta, Lee, that is almost a lap.
So I'm saying he's going to be flirting with it. Yeah, it's going to be close.
Yeah, it's about 45 seconds plus the time that the other car spends being on the racetrack. So it's almost a complete lap. Be really tight between he and the 5 cars to whether they can keep this 10 car on the lead lap here.
We'll keep an eye out for it, Loic Duval.
You can see the time clicking on that LED panel there. You can see the penalty box where he's sitting the race car. This is not in his own pit box.
The VP Fuels penalty box, that's where you do not want to be. It's right beside our Peacock pit box. So Krista, Dale Jr. and Steve are getting a front row view of this. And here comes Loic Duval through the bus stop. This is going to be super tight. Can the car that has dominated a good portion of this race now be in the worst possible position of not on the lead lap with 5 hours, 23 minutes to go? Briscoe is released. Here comes Duval into the tri-oval. Now Ryan Briscoe is going to have the fight of this race on his hands, trying to keep this Mustang sampling Cadillac behind him.
Yeah, and those Michelin tires for Ryan Briscoe will have cooled off a little bit, so it's going to be tough for him to respond here. And there you see he is down a lap with 5 hours and 23 minutes to go.
One simple error puts Briscoe and the Wayne Taylor, Konica Minolta team in just a really tough position. Now he's got the Mazda of Olivier Pla all over the back of him. So not only does he have to try and catch up to that Cadillac of Loic Duval, he's got to keep a watchful eye on this Mazda. This is just a horrible position to be in after being in the perfect position.
He needs to not magnify that mistake on this out lap here. Doesn't have the tire temp. Car's underneath him now. Now it's focused forward. Just got to execute, try and do everything you can. Hope for maybe another yellow. They've both got the same amount of fuel on board. He will have got a little bit of fuel save, ironically, by sitting still in the pit lane. So how critical could that 1 lap of fuel be towards the end of one of these stints and maybe catching a break with a yellow?
Wishing for a yellow in this race, though, is a big wish, considering the last green flag run was just under hours. So Briscoe will fight. So too will Renger van der Zande, Scott Dixon, and Kamui Kobayashi. This has put an interesting twist on this year's 24. Not only has there been a change of the overall lead and in DPI, but have a look at this. GT Daytona. We knew that this class was going to be red hot coming into this year's Rolex 24, and there's been a change of the lead at the front. Dries Van Tor, the 21-year-old from Belgium, who won last year's 24 Hours of Nürburgring, is out in front. He's got that WRT Speedstar Audi R8 just humming along, and he's gone past Lewis for second, who is in second now in the Paul Miller Racing Lamborghini. Andy Lally in another Lambo is up to third. And also on the lead lap in the Wright Motorsports Porsche, it's Ryan Hardwick, just a little over 10 seconds further back.
Well, can John Wright get that first win for Porsche in the 16 car? They're definitely very much in the game, knocking out their final drive time for their silver-rated drivers. But here we're looking at Dries Van Tor up on the wheel, glancing in that side view mirror to see exactly where Corey Lewis is and if he has to defend into that brake zone for turn 6.
This young man's impressive endurance career at just 21 continues to grow. I mentioned that he won Nürburgring. He's also won the GTE class at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. He may, just may, be able to add the Rolex 24 to his rapidly impressive growing resume. Speaking of being impressive, Joao Barbosa, who was one of the key ingredients of this Mustang sampling team, has won 3 Rolex 24 overall. His good mate, Christian Fittipaldi, fellow winner, fellow champion, stepped out of full-time sports car racing, and Christian, the 3-time winner himself, was the Grand Marshal for this event. Christian will be watching and urging this car on with passion, with 5 hours, 17 minutes left, Dave.
Christian is down here. Ken Thompson from Mustang Sampling is down here. And this man, John, the JDC in JDC Miller Racing. What an opportunity for him after fielding his yellow Cadillacs last year and having a bit of a struggle coming up to speed with them. I talked to John this week about the opportunity he has with this new group. Remember, he started himself as a racer, fielded open wheel cars, got through the prototype series here as well, and then finally last year into the DPIs as a little bit of a lockup right there from the 5. But for John, an opportunity arose. Things weren't working out for Mustang Sampling and Action Express, and they came to him and said, what would our opportunity be here? John said, we took it. It's a big opportunity, and we're going to make the most of it. Right now, he has the lead at the Rolex 24, and looking with just over 5 hours to go at the real opportunity, a Rolex watch, Marty.
And boy, David, that caution changed the game for a lot of teams, including Team Mazda Yost. They were both a lap down. The 77, Olivier Pla, you're looking at right now, and his teammate Harry Tinknell back in third. They were a lap down. They took advantage of the IMSA rulebook. So when the 10 came down pit road with Ryan Briscoe and the 5 as well, they stayed out. They took the pass around, and then when they were coming back to green, both of those cars pitted. The 77 has a full load of fuel, but did not take on new Michelins. The 55, though, did take on new Michelins and fuel, and both of those Mazdas are back in the game, Lee.
Yeah, it's game on. It really is game on. That penalty involving an infraction with a local yellow in the middle of the night for the 77, that hurt. Their runs haven't been going quite as long as the Cadillacs, but you know what? It doesn't matter. That's the beauty of endurance sports car racing. Olivier Pla, the fast Frenchman, in contention. Harry Tinknell. And there will be a lot spoken about that early race incident between himself and Elio Castro Neves. We heard both sides of the story yesterday. He did apologize for that contact, but said things weren't exactly clear between him and Elio. We'll see what Mazda Team Yost can do. I have to say, if you look at the big picture, one of the biggest criticisms and one of the biggest frustrations with this Mazda Team Yost DPI program was the reliability. Well, have a look at them now.
Yeah, they've worked hard on that. They did a bunch of engine changes also since last year. Even though they went on that win streak, you'd think, well, they've got to be happy with what they have. They're not content. They realize they still need to keep working hard. Did some long durability testing as well. I think the big key is, Lee, this racetrack is going to evolve here over the last 5 hours, and I think it could come into Mazda's sweet spot. That car, typically being lightweight, does not generate the tire temperature easily. And so when you're in those cold conditions, that works against you. But as you start to heat the racetrack up a little bit, that could bring the grip factor back towards them and away from Cadillac.
The buzz and the zing of that 2-liter turbo.
Sally is up. As I was giving that report a moment ago, Harry Tinknell was coming over the radio talking about a possible engine issue on the 55. I checked in with Nelson Cosgrove. He said they think it's an exhaust leak somewhere. When Harry goes through the gears, Calvin, you can talk about this. He just feels like he's losing time and losing power in the car. And if you'll notice, a moment ago, he was just 10 seconds behind the lead. Now he's 5 seconds behind the lead. So clearly something's starting to go amiss on the 55.
Yeah, and they can't afford to be off the pace, not even 1%. So this is going to be frustrating for Tinknell.
It's a Porsche 1-2 in GT Le Mans. It's a Cadillac out in front, being chased down by a pair of Mazdas. Ben Keating back on young Harrison Newey, and in GT Daytona there is nothing, really nothing between the top four.
Kevin at the stint.